25 years ago, I graduated dental school, no different than any of the rest of us, unprepared for what was ahead of me. My career was based on my own personal decisions of how I want to run a business. And let's face it, not having any training out of school on business and solely being trained on how to perform procedures on a patient can set us up for failure. Every day we walk into a practice, we can be frustrated, stressed out, disappointed, all because we don't understand how to run a business properly, how to engage with people, and how to do marketing and advertising. But we do know how to fix a tooth, right? So, fast forward 25 years later, I stand before you now a successful business owner of multiple businesses, an international lecturer and author, a fellow of the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, and a race car driver. I've accomplished a lot of things, but that's besides the point. I've learned a lot. I've learned a ton in business, a lot in dentistry, as well as in personal growth. And what I've created is a program that brings all of these elements together to allow you to become more successful, happier in business, happier in life, and being able to have the freedoms to do more. And so my training is unlike anything else you've ever seen. And so this program is devised to help you to get to a better level, a happier place that's more fruitful and successful. So sit back and relax as I show you what's possible for you and your career. What dental procedure are you wanting to become an expert at next? Let's face it, every dentist coming out of dental school, first thing they want to do is, I want to get a mastership in AGD, or I want to go become Invisalign certified, or I want to learn implants, or I want to be an accredited cosmetic dentist. We all have dreams and aspirations, but let's face it, the majority of what we learned in dental school was how to do dentistry. And what do we typically focus on after dental school? How to do more dentistry. Having done so, will that make you more successful? Maybe not. I know dentists that aren't very good at their skills, and yet they do extremely well. And then I know other dentists that are very good at their craft. They don't have many patients, sadly. So you think there's some kind of mixture in here where we got to add in some business, some marketing, and some interpersonal skills? Do you think maybe we should focus on those also to be very successful at business? Definitely. However, being an accredited cosmetic dentist, I've had a lot of years of training on all the fun aspects of cosmetic dentistry, and that's one of the things I teach on. So in this program, I'm certainly going to teach you a lot of different ways in which to do better photography, better bonding, better veneers. And so you will get traditional dentistry in this program, but recognize that being a better dentist doesn't necessarily make you a more successful, better businessman. We will put in some cosmetic dentistry and some restorative dentistry, occlusion, and photography, so you can become better to craft, which I know everyone wants and feels like they need, but realize there's another component to it that you also need to become an expert at. So you imagine the possibilities, not only becoming a better dentist, but being a better businessman, better marketing, better advertising, better at handling your employees. All of these combined together make you a very successful person. Have you ever had office drama, employee issues? Who manages that? Do you delegate it to the HR resource individual in your business? Do you give it to one of the employees? Do you let them fight it out? Or do you just turn your head and close your eyes and kind of blindly go about your business, hoping they resolve the issue and it doesn't escalate? Well, I think you can envision that these have probably happened to you at some point in your career, whether you own the office or an employee watching it happen. It's one of the number one problems in dentistry. The American Dental Association points out the number one issue is employee-related problems for the business owner. But what if I told you there's a way in which you could make it such that your team members all get along and want to be supportive and helpful of one another? Do you think that hampers your business? Do you think you're maybe not as successful and that maybe patients can pick up on this problem in the office? But how do you do this? I mean, I'm not an HR expert, but I've found companies and ways in which to make my job easier. And so if you've had these same issues and you want to try and avoid these and have a happier office where people actually get along, do their jobs well, and by being happy, they're actually more productive and more successful at their jobs, so you could have a happier office and happier patients with higher production. This is one of the things we train. Two F words you don't typically hear of in dentistry: freedom, frustration. Now, frustration we think of quite regularly in dentistry. There's a lot of frustration. As we talked about before, it's a very challenging job that no one understands but you and I, because we sit there every day and have to deal with the HR issues. We have to deal with the client issues. We have to get the frustration of dentistry not going our way, right? All of these problems create issues for us. However, there are ways we can now implement change, things that we've never talked about or seen in dentistry, utilizing technology and training, such that we can have more freedom. What type of freedoms do you want that you don't have currently? Where would you go if you had more freedom? How do we get freedom? Well, one of the ways you can get freedom is, number one, having more financial success. Money allows you to have more opportunities. How do you get more money? It's not necessarily seeing more patients. Maybe it's changing your approach on marketing and advertising. Maybe it's changing how your employees interact with one another and the clients. Maybe you change some type of technology in the office to make life easier for everybody. Many different ways in which to create freedoms. Not only do you have to do dentistry every day, but you have to perform every task within the business to run properly so that you can create those freedoms. Our objective in this program is to show you ways you've never seen before so that you can implement change in your practice and in your personal life to create happiness and freedom so that you can do more in less time. Nobody understands our business better than you and I. You can't explain to someone the frustrations, the stress, the anguish that comes from the job of being a dentist. Now, add on top of being a dentist to now being a business owner and having to manage employees and deal with insurance, you know what I'm talking about as far as the stress that one deals with every day. What if I could tell you there's a way to remove that stress so that you can be more productive and happier at your job and when you get home at the end of the day? Depending on where you're at in your career, you're either working for someone else, you've bought an existing practice, or you've built an office. Either way, you have stresses and frustrations every day, no matter where you're at. And because of that, it causes you to perform at a lower level. Let's face it, we can't perform at our best if we're stressed out and frustrated, nor can your team members or those around you if you're an employee. So, what if I could tell you that there's a way that you can decrease your stress? If utilized every day, it can actually help boost your production, the ability for you to then do more in life and be more successful. We've got a proven way in which you can take a bad situation where you're stressed and frustrated and turn into a positive and actually get success and growth from that problem. This is just one of the many aspects that we'll be teaching in this program. How many new patients do you get a month? Are you happy with that number? Would you like to see more patients coming in? Marketing and advertising inside dentistry is not easy. And let's face it, most of the time we're outsourcing to someone else. Why? Because we're sitting behind the dental chair doing the procedures to try and make money. We don't typically focus on our business. Nowadays, with the social climate the way it is and technology that's changed, allows us to implement things that have never been done before in dentistry, but that we've been doing that's working extremely well to get us more new patients that are happy and willing to pay money to have procedures done. Does that sound like the type of client you'd like to have? Imagine if you had more clients that were not so concerned about the insurance and the cost, and more concerned about the quality and the procedures they were going to get. Does that resonate with you? I can tell you with all my patients it does. So again, we teach a different approach in our marketing and advertising. We show you technology that no one else is implementing. Consider that there's potentially another way to do things that you've never seen in the world of dentistry that can get you what you want, so you can have more patients and more income. And what does that bring you? More happiness and freedom to do more things in life. We can share that with you inside this program. How'd you like to make more money? Well, who wouldn't, right? Well, unfortunately, after going to all those years of dental school and training real hard, it's hard to believe we end up Uber drivers. What do I mean by that? Well, obviously an Uber driver, someone that brings a car to the equation and some other company tells them what they can get paid and what they can do. Dentistry may not be so different if you're someone who accepts dental insurance. Think about it. You have your own dental office, that's your car, and you perform procedures, but yet the big insurance company is telling you how to do your job and they're determining what you get paid. And for some of us, that's not a lot of fun. And so that becomes one of our biggest frustrations in dentistry is the constraints and limitations the insurance companies put on us and on our patients' health. And so Reimbursement over the last 20 years has actually gone down such that our income has also suffered. And so I know you'd like to make more money, the same as anyone out there, but unfortunately being contracted with many of the insurance companies is limiting what you can do. So now you're having to work harder to make less. And so that creates frustrations and stress and anguish. So what if I told you there's a way that you could manage this in a different formula to bring you success and more income, such that you're now in charge and you have less constraints on what you can do and what you get paid? Think of the possibility of no longer having to deal with the insurance company. Now you may say your biggest fear is, well, if I cut out insurance, I won't have any patients, I can't make money. I'm not telling you to do that, but there are ways you can circumvent the insurance company to make more money. So to go through this process, we dive deep into the insurance game and give you tools and techniques and ways in which you can manipulate your patient's mindset and their pocketbook so they can get better care, but maybe have to come out of pocket to get that quality. The same as they're willing to come out of pocket to get the car, the new shoes, the handbag, whatever it is they want. They find a way to get the money for that. And yet many people rely on insurance to give them their health care. So consider the possibility that maybe patients would be more inclined to pay for services if you took it to a different approach in how the insurance company pays and what the limitations are. And by doing so, your company can be more successful and you can have more freedoms and success to spend that money how you please versus allowing the insurance company to do so. Do you like every patient in your practice? Or do you have certain names that show up on the day sheet and the whole office cringes, right? I've worked in many dental offices, as well as obviously my own. I've had patients like that. You can either deal with them or you can cut them loose. Unfortunately, patients like that usually refer and bring other people in like them. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen dentists cater to these types of people, thinking they have to keep them and have to maintain these clients just to make money. The client isn't always right, or the patient isn't always right. Sometimes it's good to let people go, or to remind them who's in charge and how they should act in your business. We have ways that we've proven to work with patients that actually creates a better relationship so they're more willing to show up on time for their appointment and pay for their services and be happy during the whole process. Imagine if you could have an office where all the patients are happier, friendlier type of people that you like to work with. Let's face it, you have certain patients in your practice that you know when you see their name on the list, you're real excited to see them because they're always the happy, fun person you get to work with. And they're always very pleased with what you've done for them and they appreciate you. What if all your patients could be like that? Consider the possibility that we have techniques in which you can remove people that are troublemakers and build up more of the happy, great, appreciative patients. So you have a better office where everyone's happy to go to work and everyone's happy to see all those patients every day. We have the ability to do that for your practice. How's your health? That's right. How is your health? Like, wait a minute, we're talking dentistry. What is he talking about? Oh, really? Think about your health. Are you healthy? When's the last time you went to a doctor? You had a physical, had your eyes checked, your cholesterol, all the different aspects of your body. When's the last time you had it checked? Let's face it, 1 in 3 dental providers can no longer practice dentistry due to physical injury from the job, whether it be repetitive motions or the leaning over the chair giving them back, neck, shoulder pains, or maybe some other type of issue. It's amazing how many of our colleagues are no longer capable of performing dentistry and providing an income for themselves. I'd hate to see that happen to anyone, but should it happen, what are you gonna do? Better question is, what can you do now so you never get into that position? The reason I bring these up is because your health, your happiness with your body, your happiness with your mindset sets you up for each day to be successful at business. And so if you're not happy with yourself, you don't have a positive outlook, you may not perform as well. Sounds like something trivial, but if your body doesn't work, you can't make money. So one of the things we talk about is not only your physical body health, but also your mental health, so you can be on point to create wins and success every day when you walk into that office. So you can be the best you can be and your business can be at the top of the game, so you can make more money and have more happy clients, more happy employees, because you're showing up healthy and happy. If what I've been saying to you resonates, and you see the possibility of having a different lifestyle, a different business, with happier clients, happier employees, and more money, then what I want you to do next is click on the link below. You're going to fill out an application where you're going to give me information that we're then going to set a time to talk one-on-one on the phone about where you're at currently and where you'd like to go. And if we feel it's a good fit, that you meet our criteria, we'll ask you to sign up. And if you're selected to sign up, we look forward to helping you grow and change your world. And so the journey begins right now by you starting by clicking on that link and filling that application so we can have that one-on-one meeting.